She didn't just leave the stage. She stormed off, leaving the entire studio in stunned silence. One moment, Kylie Kelce was smiling politely under the bright glow of today with Jenna and friends. The next, she was out of her seat, shaking her head, her voice rising in a way nobody expected. The audience gasped, producers froze, and Jenna herself looked like she had been hit with a wave of cold water. The segment had started warm, playful even. The crowd applauded as Kylie Kelce, known for her sharp wit and grounded personality, joined Jenna and her co-hosts on the cozy pastel-toned set. The chatter was light, football season excitement, family stories, and a few inside jokes about life with Jason Kelce, the larger-than-life NFL star. Kylie smiled, laughed when it felt right, and teased a little, showing the same authenticity that made fans admire her. For a moment, it seemed this would be one of those easygoing daytime interviews where nothing controversial ever happens. But then the tone shifted. Jenna leaned in, grinning, and asked a question that seemed harmless on the surface but carried an edge. "Kylie, do you ever feel like it's tough being in Jason's shadow?" The audience chuckled softly, expecting Kylie to brush it off with a light quip. Instead, her smile faltered. She shifted in her chair, tilting her head, her eyes narrowing just enough to reveal. The words had struck differently than intended. "Well," Kylie began slowly, her voice calm but deliberate, "I wouldn't exactly call it living in someone's shadow. I've got my own life, my own career, my own identity." The crowd clapped awkwardly, sensing tension but unsure where things were headed. Jenna tried to laugh it off. "Oh, of course, of course. We know you're a powerhouse. Kylie, we just meant, the spotlight gets pretty big when you're married to Jason." Before the moment could smooth over, another co-host jumped in with a sharper jab. "Right? But don't you think most people just see you as the wife in the stands?" The air shifted instantly. Kylie leaned forward, planting her hands on her knees, her tone firm. "I am not just somebody's wife. I'm a mother. I'm a professional. I'm someone who stands on her own. I don't appreciate being minimized for the sake of a cute soundbite." The audience murmured, some clapping in support, others visibly uncomfortable. Jenna's smile froze into the strained grin of someone barely holding control. She tried again, her voice rising nervously. No, Kylie, we didn't mean it like that. We love having you here. You're an inspiration to so many." But Kylie wasn't letting it go. She shook her head, her voice growing sharper. "Do you know how many times I've had to sit in interviews and answer questions that reduce me to a +1? Do you know how exhausting it is to be spoken about as if I don't have my own story?" The co-hosts exchanged uneasy glances. A producer off-camera frantically signaled for a topic change, but it was too late. Kylie continued, her voice carrying over the silence. "You invited me here to talk, but if you think I came here to be the butt of a joke, you're wrong." The audience didn't know what to do. Some applauded loudly, standing in support, while others shifted uncomfortably. Jenna, cheeks flushed, reached for Kylie's hand, but Kylie pulled back slightly, giving her a cool, pointed look. "I respect the work you do, Jenna, but I won't sit here and smile while being dismissed." The room went dead quiet. Cameras caught every sharp angle of Kylie's tone and steel gaze. Finally, she pushed her chair back. The scrape against the polished floor echoed like thunder. She stood smoothing her outfit with calm precision, but her body language was final. "I think I've said enough." With that, she turned and walked off stage. The audience gasped, a few shouting no, as if willing her to stay. The camera followed just long enough to catch her disappearing behind the curtain. On stage, Jenna froze, blinking in disbelief, while her co-host scrambled to fill the silence as the studio plunged into chaos. By the time the show cut to commercial, the internet was already buzzing. Viewers clipped the fiery exchange, posting it with captions like, "Did Kylie Kelce just walk off live TV?" And that was not in the script. The incident wasn't just a heated moment. It was a cultural flashpoint, sparking debate about whether Kylie had overreacted or finally said what so many women in the spotlight wish they could say. Backstage, the chaos only intensified. Kylie's heels clicked against the hallway floor as she stormed away, crew members whispering and producers barking into headsets. Yet her stride wasn't panicked. It was steady, purposeful. She wasn't in tears or flustered. Her expression carried a fierce calm, the look of someone who had made a decision and wouldn't backtrack. A producer jogged to catch up, calling, "Kylie, wait, we can smooth this over." She stopped, turned, and fixed him with a glare sharp enough to freeze him. It came out exactly how they meant. And I won't play along with that narrative. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried enough weight to silence the hallway. The producer stammered, then retreated. Back on set, Jenna was scrambling. As the cameras came back from commercial, her smile looked strained. "Well, folks," she said, her voice pitched too high. "Live television always keeps us on our toes." She gave a nervous laugh. But the audience didn't join. They could feel the rawness of what had just happened. One co-host tried to lighten the mood with a joke, but it fell flat. The audience clapped politely, eyes still darting toward the stage exit. In living rooms across the country, viewers were already rewinding DVRs, grabbing their phones and posting clips. Twitter lit up instantly. Kylie walks off. Today Show drama. Respect Kylie. Backstage, Kylie sat briefly in a quiet corner, her chest rising steadily as she gathered herself. A stagehand offered water. She waved it off. Another co-host approached to apologize. Kylie listened, then answered firmly. "You don't apologize for a culture that constantly belittles women by saying, 'Oops, wrong words.' It's not about the words. It's about the mindset." Her response wasn't just for the co-host. Crew members recording on their phones captured it too. Within minutes, both the live broadcast and backstage remarks were circulating online. The narrative shifted from Kylie Kelce storms off to Kylie Kelce calls out disrespect. On stage, Jenna tried damage control. "We love Kylie," she said quickly. "We'd absolutely welcome her back anytime. These things happen. Live shows can be unpredictable." But her eyes betrayed her unease. She knew the clip would outlive the show and possibly damage her image as the friendly, inoffensive host. In the green room, Kylie straightened her blazer, glanced at a monitor showing Jenna downplaying the moment, and smirked faintly. Let her spin it. The truth's already out there. With that, she grabbed her bag and walked toward the exit. Outside, the city air hit her as cameras flashed and reporters shouted, "Kylie, why did you walk off? Do you regret it?" What happened with Jenna? She didn't pause or answer, her silence fueling the story even more. By evening, the internet had chosen sides. Some praised Kylie for standing her ground. Others accused her of overreacting. But one fact was undeniable. She had dominated the conversation. Memes, TikToks, reaction videos all replayed the scrape of her chair. Her firm declaration of identity, that unforgettable walkout. Inside the studio, Jenna sat with her team in a closed-door meeting. "We need to get ahead of this," she insisted. Book her again, issue a statement, something. But her producers exchanged uneasy looks. They knew the storm wasn't going away anytime soon. Kylie had already set the internet ablaze, and no amount of spin could extinguish a fire that raw and real. The story had taken on a life of its own. It wasn't just about a clash on daytime television anymore. It was about a woman refusing to be reduced to someone else's shadow. Kylie's walkout wasn't just a moment. It had become a movement. And whether Jenna and her friends liked it or not, the world was watching.